episode, Batman dies in the Infinity Wars.
And other spoilers. Anyway, are we ready?
We are.
Right.
Tracy has notes. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Chrissy. I do, but I can't see them, so I'll just wing it. I read them. I think I'll be okay.
She's on her phone.
I'm on my
It'll
phone.
work.
I'm not very technologically good like you guys are, but
It'll work.
Fooled another one.
I
As
saw
I-
you at PRI. I was impressed. I was really impressed. At
Oh, clearly you didn't listen to the show because it sounded terrible.
PRI. I did listen to it. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
Oh my God.
Hey, she sounded good.
You sounded good. Exactly.
Right. Yep.
The further
kept
away you
saying
sat from
ice,
Tracy.
Ice cream cone.
Yep.
On
Ice
date.
cream prom date.
Prom date ice cream. Never mind. Those of you not watching YouTube, let's just get going here. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for obviously penis jokes and the world of low dollar racing and oddball
went
car
there.
culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma-Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run. SCC or NASA, we don't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and build it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news, and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough, and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for listening to a German twin
Jeff.
turboprop.
We're done with the music.
He
It's
got
going
it.
down.
He's fading. Remember?
It's a slow
Degree
fade.
in radio and television, all that stuff, right? It's a German twin turboprop utility aircraft episode 228 because the Dornier 228 was manufactured from 81 until 98. Aircraft is used in the Indian Air Force, Coast Guard, Navy, and holds up to 19 passengers. Fun fact, has been involved in 54 aviation incidents and including 41 full hull losses with 205 fatalities. So hopefully you're not flying a Dornier 228. So you can check out
Although-
our Banco card.
How many does it hold? It holds up to 19. So
Yeah.
41 total hull losses and 205 fatalities. I don't think we're doing too bad.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
that's
that's survivability
like
rate.
five per crash average.
Yeah.
So
As opposed to the E3, which had 29 of them and one total loss.
let me just say that 228 was a slow number. There wasn't a
Uh-huh.
whole lot on the
There wasn't
internet.
a whole lot to pick up.
Nope.
Oh boy.
So,
when we get to
speaking
the 900s, where it's just going to be like a series of
Porsche.
Porsches.
Well, the same way.
And
We have a
Saabs.
long time till we get there. We
Well,
have
like
a whole
the
lot of really
150s
boring
is-
numbers in between there.
Mid 150s, all alphas.
Okay.
You know, we had our Peugeot section in the 200s. You know, we'll get there.
All
The
right.
late 100s, a lot of Mercedes. I've been trying to
240,
avoid a lot of the Mercedes.
300s will have a lot of BMWs.
And 240 is going to be the slowest diesel Mercedes ever. So we'll get there.
We
Anyway,
could go Nissan. Never mind. Let's keep going.
no, no way. Let's go
We
more
have
interesting.
pride.
What
Jeff.
you working on? Oh, you want me to start?
Jeff, yeah,
I can
what
start.
you
Yeah,
start?
just
What are you
you say
working
it.
on? I mean, this is going to
Uh,
be short, but
It's very short because I've been working nonstop. It's still the opening weeks of the semester. So
Oh,
yeah, check it off. Yeah, but anyway, I worked all day Saturday, worked all day Friday, worked till like midnight. I managed not to race any students on the way. This is the event last semester that I accidentally raced a student. But that was good. Accidentally. I didn't know he was a student. I was purposely racing. Didn't know it was a student. Anyway, so
Yep.
on Sunday I watched football and took down the Christmas tree. That was it.
Cool.
yep,
Yeah,
lots of
no,
things done. Great.
it's cold as terrible here. I can't do anything outside. So.
Yep.
Jersey.
Yep.
Anyway, Chris, what are you working on? Since you have a garage and can
Actual cars, right?
Actual
Heated
cars.
garage means actual cars getting work done. Wiring, because there's lots
of it.
of wiring still to do. Like there's barely scratch the surface there, but I have made almost an entire oil system, including mounting the oil cooler on rubber vibration resistant mounts to make sure we don't have any more cracks in our oil cooler. So that it's very nicely mounted. I'm very happy with how it turned out. One more fitting I needed to arrive today for the last one, but even like I'm taking my time on this car and like carefully routing the oil lines and, you know, putting P-clip attachment points at various important places to make sure that they are, you know, it's holding back and vibration resistant, and little things like the oil line that I had from the other car was like 1 inch shorter than I wanted it to be. Well, you know what? I made a new one instead of just saying that's good enough. So it's taking time, but it's nice.
When you push it on the barb, and it doesn't cover little less than you'd like it to, you just go, I'll go tighter on the clamp. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So this is all AN stuff. So like I already had the line made from the old car, but the nose in this one's a little bit longer. So anyway, made a new line, but making a new AN lines is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
But it's done. I've drilled and re-drilled and riv nutted a broken bolt in the hood. And
is that a word? Is that a verb?
Riv nut. I think you can verb riv nut. Yes,
okay.
It is. You can make that into a verb. That's fine.
Yeah.
What else? I made most of the exhaust. I have the initial, off the header expanded to 3-inch, the glass pack resonator there, the hangers into the L around the fuel tank. So I'm at the axle right now. So I got to keep going on that. But it's very fiddly work, that stuff.
Did you finish my heat shielding project?
Mental did most of it. I have not gone back to it yet. I'm getting the rest of it finished, the exhaust finished before that. Chrissy did all the heat shielding in the center tunnel.
Got it.
I'm getting into what she worked on. I apologize.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to jump ahead.
What else? I did some suspension work, and Godzilla, our 89 Civic Si chassis that we've had since 2013, that has led us to B-class win, A-class win,
many seconds,
overall win, everything. We have all driven it. It has probably 30,000 race miles on it with us. The chassis left tonight.
Oh,
womp, womp.
Bare chassis, just basically a cage and spare parts, no rear suspension. We put it up on a U-Haul trailer and strapped it down. And it is on its way to Massachusetts, where it will eventually meet with another prior Lemons raced EF Civic hatchback that has a tragic roll cage. And they are going to make sweet fun times together and have a lot of sawzalls and a lot of welding. And these kids has never had a race car before. They're making these two cars plus all the parts into one working car, and good for them.
Good for them.
Yep.
Are they cutting the roof and taking our cage, or are they going to try and make our chassis run with their
our chassis
motors?
is totally porked.
No.
They're going to cut roofs off, cut cages off, put cage in, save themselves $2,500.
Got it.
And honestly, even like the $2,500 wouldn't get as nice of a cage as that one was.
That was a really nice cage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
still,
I gave them so many spare parts. I mean, there's hood, fenders, bumpers, trim, Integra suspension parts, a transmission for a D series. Like I just here you go. If I'm not using it, have a nice day. So.
Get it out of here. We didn't have to take it to scrap. So
did they drool on our Civic, the new Civic? I shouldn't say.
No. This was just a guy. The person picking up tonight wasn't the person who's going to have it. This is just a guy who lives nearby, who is a fan of Lemons, who's only raced ever like once. I think he raced with Mike Zavarian once as a arrive and drive. He happens to be going to Massachusetts to pick a car up, volunteered to bring this car up to these people in New England who needed it and wanted it. Good on him. In a
very full short bus.
Yeah, it was a Duramax short bus that he has, and he had a U-Haul trailer on it, and he's driving up overnight, because he likes to drive overnight past New York, and so the Civic will be in Massachusetts in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Before the nor'easter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just Lemons community, is someone like, oh, hey, I'm giving away a car or chassis. Someone else says, oh, I could really use said free chassis. Other guy not involved at all said, I happen to be going between these places. I'll bring it to you. Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
Mental, what are you doing?
Well, I am in the middle of our premier exercise. I am literally between, I just got home from work. I'll get done with this. I'm going back to work. And I was at Buttonwillow this weekend for the Vintage Auto Racing Association. Vera University had a stack of students. Great time. And on my way, or since I was there, I took one of the key 914s, and it is now going to take its parts and help restore a quasi historically significant 914 that used to race out here on the PCA, held a couple of records. And the guy found literally a shell cage, no floor, and some skins. But he did the research on it. And so I had one of the janky 914s, had all the running gear, front and rear suspension, some of the other parts. So he's going to help make his car.
Yay,
with
bits
that
shall
one.
live of your
Yes.
car and my car. It's great.
Exactly. And so I am meeting one of my New Year's resolutions. I am down half my janky Porsches now. I have half as many as I started the year with.
But what do
Yay.
you count as not Porsches, just the janky ones?
All his
They're
Porsches
all-
are
they're-
janky.
they're all
pretty
I know,
much,
but
they're
like-
all jank. Levels
Oh,
of
because
jank, but they're all janky.
so you're counting the disassembled 928 as gone also.
It was more than disassembled.
It was
So but it's
sold.
gone also.
Yeah,
is what I
it was
mean.
it was
Yeah.
mafia style disposed of.
Got it. But that counts. So you got rid of one
That is
928 and one
That's a really big rug to roll that up in.
It sleeps with
Yes.
the fishes.
Yes.
Cool.
So
Okay.
so Chris tried to steal your glory, Chrissy. Let's hear it.
It's okay. We did a lot of car work in the weekend. We made a lot of good progress. I reassembled all of the front brakes. I finished the job that Jeff started. As we started talking about, I applied the heat shielding and the exhaust in the exhaust well. There is a video on, I think it went to both Facebook and Insta. I was laying under the car and I figured, how do I show what the work that I've done? So that's what I fixed all of that, which is good. And we still have some left over, which was awesome. Minimal waste.
And,
That's what we were going for.
you also showed that you were anti-squirreling your bird feeder.
Yes, I was. Yes, that was.
That I saw.
Hold on, let me finish this. I removed excess metal from the hood. We did and I also posted that we were adding lightness, taking off all the excess, especially because the hood doesn't fit well with the engine, and add lightness. That's fine too. We fixed a hole that the previous owner cut in the hood and did some other things. But I also practiced my welding. I spent a long time with that. I tried not to compare how much Chris is much better. His welds are to my welds, but I was trying to make my the pole for my my bird feeder.
It was
Squirrel
a squirrel
proof.
Was a
feeder.
squirrel
That was-
feeder.
It was a squirrel feeder, yes. So I tried to make it taller and then put a collar on it and weld. So we weld some part to the bottom and then we welded a collar on it to it so we could have one of those cones. And so the problem is it's been 3 days or 3 or 4 days, and there's still no birds there either. So
They'll find it.
I hope so.
They'll be back.
I hope so. So yes, I was practicing my welding and trying not to get frustrated and trying to fill gaps because, of course, the collar, they were different size piping. So it was
Oh.
fine.
Oh,
Practicing welding.
I did miss this because I forgot to update my thing. Normal, well-adjusted Mike says hello to everyone.
Oh,
Oh, very nice.
Hello, normal, well-adjusted Mike.
And Tracy, we're playing Insider Baseball. It's a Mad Mike, and if you ever walked into a room and were looking for someone named Mad Mike, you'd
It'd be
spot it
obvious.
right away.
I always knew him as Crazy Mike.
Yeah,
So-
crazy Mike.
Crazy-
That's what
Crazy
I
Mike, Crazy Mike. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is crazy. He's also a Vera instructor, so he was out there having fun with us.
okay. Okay, that's what I've been doing, and now you've heard a new voice. If you were listening right in the beginning of the show, our guest is Tracey Gaudu, I think. Hopefully,
Gaudu.
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 Gaudu. I'm sorry about that. NASA racer competing in TTU and Super Unlimited class, and I'm sure she does many other awesome things. Tracey, what you working on?
Well, I dropped my car off up at Lingenfelter. They're up in Decatur, Indiana, the week of PRI. I meant to go get the car a couple weeks ago, but we had a big snow, couldn't go get it. But they've worked on upgrading the trunnions in my motor, the intake valves, and replumbing a catch can for crate case pressure. It's not that bad. My motor's pretty healthy, so it's just kind of, what is it, safeguards, I guess. I'm also adding some new brakes. I've been using stock brakes, really stock calipers, cobalt brakes, but adding wheel-to-wheel racing this past year, it's just been very evident that I need bigger brakes. I mean,
Everybody needs bigger
Yes,
brakes.
yes.
I never thought I did. I mean, in time trials, I never really did, but in racing, I have to brake so much earlier. I don't want to, but if I'm going to make the corner, I've got to brake a little bit sooner. And all the, all the advantage I have against my competition, they catch me in the corners, then I'm trying to wheel it through there, get ahead of them, and then here they are in the next corner. It's just, so I'm hoping those brakes will help me significantly, especially like at big tracks like E1R in Atlanta.
Well,
So.
we're the kind of racers that catch you in the corners. So why, being civic people, why don't you tell, because not everyone might have heard the PRI show, what kind of race car you got? Tell everybody.
2008 C6 Z06 Corvette.
That'll get it done.
I bought it brand new. Learned how to drive a stick on it. I didn't know how to drive a stick shift till I bought that car. It was a lot to learn on, but autocross is how I sort of learned how to drive it. I got autocross a lot, did some track days, got some instruction this is over like a 12-year period. And then I finally went to time trials 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And
the first one's free. The first one's free.
Yeah.
The first one's free.
Well,
That's
Mental
what we were
is
doing this weekend.
alluding to drugs at the moment, in case you haven't figured that out.
we were getting people hooked on racing this weekend at Button Willow. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but it's just kind of got me hooked. The high speed is what I liked. I mean, the autocross was awesome to learn how to drive a car, but it's not fast enough. I liked higher speed stuff. So yeah, but anyway, that's what I've been working on with the car. I work a lot of hours, so I really don't have the time I work weekends. I work a lot. So I don't really have the time to work on my car. And I know you all like folks that really work on their cars, but I do drive mine hard. So at least I do meet that criteria.
That's
but
all that counts.
I don't really work on it. I mean, I don't really have a garage. I have a garage, but it don't have a lift. And to be honest, I don't really have time. So, and I really trust my mechanic here, and the folks at Lingenfelter have helped me out a lot. So they're one of my bigger sponsors. So that's how it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Trust us. You don't have to actually pull the wrenches. You just need to know what you're talking about. And it's pretty clear you already know what you're talking about when you told us how healthy your motor is. And I'm not really even sure what a trunnion is. That'd be Chris's category. So,
but does the Z need that? We'll find out. Yeah.
Z has bigger problems.
Goes to the rocker panel. I mean, the rockers, the rockers, and then it's like the bearings, and you trade them out so they don't seize up when you're. Anyway, it's a good upgrade. Let's just say that.
These are not problems we have yet.
No. We have a very bone stock 4.8 LS, so it is not. Right. We don't need any upgrade in the valve system. News and notes time. Thank you, Tracey, by the way.
Thank you.
Did Mental freeze?
Mental's frozen. Well,
that's an awesome picture.
Stick him up, Mental.
Yep. He's being
draw.
He's being robbed on the.
Oh my gosh! Somebody take a
Las
picture.
Vegas Strip right now. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
You're back.
Now you're back.
I wanted to take a picture.
I know it was good.
You were like
this. A great pose. Yeah.
Last year, the Automotive Journal was all aflutter with tests and reviews of the new Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing, and rightfully so, because 668 horses, available with a manual 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, and even faster if you get the 10-speed auto. And as automakers are wont to do on the heels of that hype, Matthew Guy over at The Truth About Cars previews Cadillac's newest marketing ploy, the Escalade V.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Quoting the article, we predict combining the latest Slade's bold style with a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 will be a license to print money. After all, it's no secret that customers in the market for a near 700 horsepower SUV styled like a brutalist office building aren't too concerned with monthly payments. And I got to agree on every point of that statement.
He's so right.
I saw the pictures though, and as much as I want to hate that car, I kind of can't. If one was given to me, it would become the new Topic. It is just so American, wretched excess. You don't need any of this crap, but why not? And check it out for yourself. We've got a link to that in our show notes.
I do love the new Cadillac style. I think the grills are really clean. I'm just quite a fan of this generation of Cadillac.
And it's got a huge emblem. Have you all noticed that?
I love the big emblem, and they lost the wreath crescents a couple generations ago, and I just think
Yeah.
I think it's clean.
I
As
think
much as-
it's classier with the wreaths. Come on.
Yeah, definitely.
But as big as everything is on the front of that, the grill part seems to like dwarf the emblem. Like
Yeah.
the grill part is so big.
That's why
the
they
grill
need the
part is
wreath
the
on it
size
still.
of the race car. Yeah.
The wreath makes it.
If go
don't
big,
know.
like if everything's gonna be big, everything's got to be big. If it's gonna
If
be
you're gonna
big.
have a big stupid Escalade, get a big
True.
stupid Cadillac badge on it because
Gold logo emblems.
Yeah.
You have gold emblems on your Cadillac. What are you doing?
You're not ball up.
Oh well.
yeah, pretty much that's how it goes. So hey, if you're looking for a new job aside from
I
designing
might be.
Cadillac's new logos, Dodge had released the application process and timeline for their new chief donut maker public relations position. Get that 2-minute application video together now because only the first 10,000 submissions received will be included in the judging phase. In what Dodge describes as a side hustle, the winner will get a 1-year contract to appear at car events, quote, go wild, end quote, and share it. Oh, you know what? This would have been a great thing for someone with a Mustang, but yeah, I guess the liability Ford doesn't want that. So it starts as a low 6-digit salary. Dodge will send you to race school, introduce you to the engineers, and of course, you get a company car, either a Charger or Challenger Hellcat SRT. Link in our notes, follow the instructions, get the job. Maybe say you heard it here. Jeff, get TikToking.
Okay, so you don't need deep frying experience for this
Nope.
job?
No.
Oh, there'll be
Okay.
some fry going on.
Yeah, they ain't no deep frying.
There's a lot of
No.
smoking. That's
And
for
what
sure.
if you're gluten free? Like, does that
That's
gonna
fine.
actually? It's probably
fine.
better because then you won't eat the profits. So
Uh-huh.
that's probably
I feel like rubber is gluten free.
It is. You know, this reminds me of that one race back in California. The winner, not the winner, it was just some random douchebags in an E36 M3. After the end of Lemons race, started doing donuts, like in like on track.
Wasn't that
in
in New Hampshire?
That was no, they at New Hampshire somebody tried, but at California
Oh.
somebody definitely did. The next race, they came back with a donut making machine, and they had a guy in BS
Smart.
and it was like
making
a
donuts.
serious machine.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
And-
like it.
all
had-
weekend. This team made hot fresh donuts for everybody.
All right,
Way to own it.
yeah, I
I-
forgot about that.
I'm a fan of hot fresh donuts.
Okay, I really didn't know that you weren't talking about donuts for a little while. Just saying, we are both we're all fans here, both of the idea and execution of the new Ford Maverick, and it appears that both the press and customers agree. So much so that Kristen Lee tells us at the drive, Ford is suspending orders until the summer. Why? They can't keep up with the demand. The demand is actually both for the baseline hybrid and the EcoBoost versions. Ford is going to stop taking orders on the 2022 Mavericks. By the time you actually hear this on January 27th, Ford says that it is to focus on the existing orders. Ford won't be start taking orders until the summer, and that will be for the 2023 Mavericks.
Good luck, Maverick people out there. I really hope you get it. I hope this isn't another Bronco situation. Oh well.
Meh.
In other
Meanwhile,
truck news,
Honda is saying with the Ridgeline, like, come on,
Yeah,
people,
come on,
come
baby."
on.
don't forget Hyundai with the whatever that thing is.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz?
They're also, that thing is a huge hit. They're having
Yeah.
problems keeping that one on the lot.
Well, in other truck news that you also can't get on the lot, Tesla, having recently been beaten to the punch by, let's see, Rivian, GM, 2 electrics, and the Ford, who've all shown their actual running electric trucks. Rivian has actually started delivering them. Has Tesla showed up with a Cybertruck? Well, actually, now they have, according to Andy Kalmowitz at Jalopnik. They actually showed up with a real truck. He said, quote, "It looks goofy as hell." There's a walk around video which does highlight some of the changes from the prototype. Among them, the wheels are from a 3 or Model Y, same wheels. The Cybertruck doesn't have any door handles. You have to use your phone or a key card on a sensor. It also has side mirrors, despite the original plan to use cameras. So all of a sudden side mirrors have shown up because Obviously, somebody at Tesla forgot to check out that the DOT regulations require them.
Details.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Details. The video has no sound, but the subtitles indicate the truck is still a quote concept.
It is so ugly.
Cybertruck was scheduled to start shipping this year, but has been delayed until early 2023. Link to the article and video in the show notes from Jalopnik. I'll say it again. Good luck, early depositors. My fingers are crossed.
It is so ugly. If I saw that coming down the street behind me, I would be like, what world am I on planet Earth? Because it does not look like a car. It looks like a spaceship.
And you guys were at Button Willow when the Lemon Cybertruck was out there running around. I think that one actually looks a little better.
Yeah. And it's funny that whoever pointed out about the side mirrors, because it really looks like this really sleek design. And all of a sudden they just have these like normal
mirrors.
Right, right. It's like a suburban mirror just stuck onto the side of it. It's terrible. You're gonna say something, Chris? No.
No. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just that.
Okay. All right. So last week we told you about a few awesome cars that we found on racingjunk.com. And of course, they have many more than what we talked about last week. And you
Jeff will put a link right here. He's going to
find some more amazing gems, right? There you go. But so here's a couple other things that you can find on Racing Junk. So we mentioned that they have a shop during Christmas time, we mentioned their shop during Christmas time, but they seem to celebrate all of the holidays. So Valentine's Day for your lover or something, there's so many items there that they have free shipping, and they have great shirts for the car lover in your life. One of them says, "One more car, I swear." I thought that was cute. And there's so many things. Like if you have a Corvette lover in your life, they have so many shirts that like look legit Corvette, right? There you go. Anybody wants to send one?
Do we know anybody that likes Corvettes?
Send one to Tracey. And
I have one. I don't like it, but I have one.
That's true.
Three Corvette owners on this screen.
That's what I'm saying. If you have one and like it and want to sport something that shows that you like it, they have actually like legit Corvette shirts on there. So, and they have other manufacturers as well. So as I'm looking around this page, I stumbled upon their events page, which is actually organized by month, and it knows me so well that it showed me upcoming events near me. Looking for something to do on the weekend, maybe sometime in the spring. Check out their calendar, check out something on the calendar, and let us know what you've learned. I know sometimes we're like, hey, it's Saturday night. It's kind of a nice night. Don't have anything to do. Let's go to that roundy round. Let's go to that drag strip that's not too far. And if you haven't gone to their site lately, check it out. It's probably more interesting than checking out Facebook again and again, or seeing more cute dogs on TikTok.
No, cute dogs are awesome.
Okay.
I'll see you all at the Spectator Drags at Seekonk at some point this year.
Yes, but there's a lot of other things that are closer to you that could be a whole lot of fun.
Sure. Recent results. Nothing. Yeah, sorta. There's no actual race results, but Lemons did release the video wrap up of the entire season this year. And personally, I was surprised that we actually got some time because we won the national championship.
Awesome.
Well, actually, we gamed the rules to break and ruin the national championship.
We ruined the
national championships. Go ahead,
I think
Chris.
that's why we got the actual
true
time. It's because we didn't do it the right way.
No.
We did it the irreverent way, which is
Exactly.
what Lemons is all about.
But without hassles to them, which it was focused on, because we didn't ask them to tally all the points. We just did it all. Chris did it all. Legit. He made that happen.
That's exactly what
Absolutely.
I was going to say. I want to tip my hat to the brainchild of the gang that ruined the national championship. So Tracey, check this out. You get points for every car you enter.
Okay.
So all we did was convince like 12 of our friends from across the United States that this year we were all just going to pretend we were the same team and all register under the same team name. And
each of these teams runs 3 to 4 cars at every event.
We just destroyed, like the nearest person was hundreds of points behind us. And they basically were like, did they win a race? No.
Nobody did anybody get physical or upset?
No.
Yeah. No.
They laughed.
They
If one of these times, Tracey, we're going to get you to come to a Lemons race, and it's kind of hard to get upset when the car behind you is a Toyota Yaris with orange cones all over it called the Corona Yaris, and they're wearing hazmat suits, and the car in front of you, it's a bunch of guys in Speedos that about half of them probably shouldn't be in Speedos. So yeah, you just can't really get that wound up.
Or look at the other half and go, oh, that's all right. Anyway, big shout out to Chris, the mastermind behind it. And we're already masterminding.
This is Mental's idea originally.
Oh, okay.
And it was a drunken bish idea.
I only said tip the hat to Chris because he organized it all.
Yeah.
It was all of he had to enter every driver for every race, organize it, make sure that they signed up, who's paying, all of that stuff. Chris handled it all. So that's why the only reason why I'm saying that was an organizational thing that helped.
And all to zero hassle to Eric, which is how you make things happy.
Well, this is very typical to our personalities. Mental had the enthusiastic idea and got people on board. I've made the dream
manage
happen.
The cats.
All right. Yeah.
Yes. Managing cats.
Listener feedback time.
Now, I promised everyone that I was going to have our Who Wore It Better images from the challenge. I failed. I was having such a great time at Very University. And I also, there is at least one student who now is subscribed to the Chrissy philosophy of singing their way around the track. So they remember what they're supposed to be doing.
That's fantastic.
It's a great way to go.
Yes. So no excuses. And it did not stop anyone from commenting, not just on the episode, but we got a lot of response out of the what you're working on, a lot of messages of different alcohol on top of disassembled engines. It was fantastic.
Yep. So as I mentioned, the CNC Mayhem Factory was a busy place this weekend, took over the stories on Facebook and Insta because Mental was supposed to be doing the rest of it. But that's okay. I took the stories and post up a note all a few jobs that were happening, as I talked about. One of them was a claw actually in our new koozie, which I'm actually having one. So it's holding it up. And on the K swap in the Civic. And I was asking what everybody's drinking. So Bill was drinking hot tea because it was very cold in the hangar. We know all about that and just how cold it is. Alex L was drinking some Fighting Cock bourbon. Life Behind the Wood, not sure who this is, but drinking something I didn't know that it was exist with a picture in a cup holder. So I'm going to try to a car cup holder. Try not to judge. It is the Lori Boys Jim and Joe's Pacific Ale. I posted the picture in our notes just because I thought it was fun. Something different.
Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out what kind of car it is.
Yeah.
You may be out of luck. I think he's still in Australia.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it's okay to just drink a beer while you're.
That makes sense. Lori Boys. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Lori Boys.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Speaking of other things that we don't know how to say, our friends at Scrapyard.
No, say it like you did before.
Scrapyard Fugees. Scrapyard Refugees commented on the last episode. Quote, usually I just listen to your podcast, but halfway through, I switched it over to YouTube to see all the awesome cars you guys found in the Fantasy League. It was a fun episode. And then he does 3 sentences on how much Mental kicked all of our butts. He claims that Mental won the Daily Driver, Radwood, Lemons Build, Race Car, and IOE, and was close second in the expensive Radwood. But Chris won. Chris, what did you have in the expensive Radwood?
I had the yellow 560 SEC.
Oh, yeah, that was the win.
Oh, but the cheap one with the hearse?
Yeah.
That was also
good.
The period correct stereo in that 560. Oh.
He also said that Chrissy was second in the track car category. Oh, no, you won the track car category. Mental was a close second. So that's good. And then Chris won the tow vehicle and I won the track car over 15,000, which whatever. It's all fun. You'll see the pictures someday when Mental posts them, or just go to the YouTube and watch it there. Tyler Stank, fit better or worse than an MX-3? That was a question he sent us. And then he said, I'm having trouble posting some stuff, but I sent a bunch of pictures to Mental.
It was an IOE, a 50 shoebox Ford, and I didn't want to break his heart, but I mean, old cars it's been done. It's been done well.
Yeah. If it's not from the 30s, it's not even that old in Lemons, really.
Yeah. I mean, heck, you've got Mike taking the Flathead 6 out of a 47 Plymouth and dropping it in a new Camaro. That's some impressive stuff. So on the wrap up video, they talked about the Edsel that didn't, but yeah, we see how that goes.
It's all right. They'll come back.
I'm going to go with, I actually, having driven a Fit on a track, I like a Fit.
I think a Fit is superior to an MX3, but in a Lemons paddock, when you bring a Fit, you're going to get, robot
It's
arms.
already
Well,
happened.
it depends.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It did. Pittsburgh.
An MX3 though, you can fit a JDM Mazda 2.5 liter V6 in that thing, 200 horsepower. And that's
That
gonna
could-
that's gonna
that
be
could
pretty
happen.
fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty fun.
I think the MX3 looks better than a Fit. How about that?
It's also way more rare at this point, but
Yeah.
Fit you can do other things like Sunday Cup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Haul lumber.
Yeah, of course. Ashley Doyle chimed up. He said he was so psyched about the S2000s that we posted that he stopped the podcast to make the comment and then got distracted by his family, and he promised to come back and later finish the episode. Whatever, Ashley.
That was a beautiful S2000.
Yeah,
All right. As our dear listeners know, our good producer Jeff is engaged in a Survive the 25. The goals: lose 25 pounds, read 5 automotive related books, and compete in 5 1-hour karting and or iRacing events by April. Now, Jeff, you are representing our podcast. I know that you have been very good about your diet. We expect you to keep trying very hard. Any weigh-ins?
Where are you?
I'm 4 days for the next weigh-in, so
Okay.
I have no report on weight. I'm still in the midst of second book, but I did a bunch. Not only did I do an hour of E1R racing, but I did an hour of actual iRacing and like actual license, not achieving, but points bearing iRacing.
Only
Wow.
here for the SR. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So that was interesting. I did okay. I think that I don't know whether it's going to actually improve my racing, but I'm definitely getting better at the iRacing. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Wow. I've never entered an iRacing race that wasn't one of ours. Ever.
I talked to it was actually Lady A gave me a bunch of hints and tips on how to start working on some of those license points, and Tyler was there too, and just they basically said like enter a race but then do it solo, which is like time trial version, so there's no one else on the track, so you don't screw up other people's.
Oh.
And it moves your license rating much slower, but you practice for a while on that, and then you join the race from the pits, and then you join, and you get better at that, and then you join the race from the grid.
So you just start
and
to like automatically drive at everybody and crash, and
It's
they
like-
just
yeah.
eat you.
it's like laddering up. So
Mhm.
there it is.
Good. All right. Good luck on your weigh-in. You're representing us, so please work on it, please. Thank you.
I know I'm working out like
We
a
saw-
fiend.
We
But as
saw how
Chris said-
svelte Bill was.
Was he? I don't know. I am
He's wearing
working out.
Vicky's shirt.
He was. He was like, I think this is a little tight, but he was.
I'll say that I am working out like a fiend, but as Chris says, you can't outrun the spoon, and I think that's my trouble. So
And now, Tracy, you work in the healthcare field, and
Mhm.
we're all big fans of fitness, and cheap modifications usually involve the driver. How has your fitness evolved as you started going wheel to wheel?
CrossFit has helped a lot. I
Oh,
do that.
you're one of those people. All right.
Oh
awesome.
no, I like the cardio with CrossFit. I don't like to lift too much weight because your body starts to hurt. You know what I'm saying? Your shoulders, your back, your knees. So I really have been for the cardio, but yeah, it really does help for just the core strength in the car. I really think so.
Yep.
nice.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyway,
Well,
that's it.
A CrossFitter, a vegan, and a born again Christian come into a bar. None of them would
And
shut the hell up
literally-
about it.
literally, why is a Christian in a bar? You just lost all of our listeners.
Why is it?
I was going to say core workout. Chrissy's core has a torque rating equal to my car. So yeah.
Jeff, you can say an ultra marathon runner too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never met an ultra marathon runner, so I wouldn't know.
They're definitely going to tell you. Yeah. Okay. Sim racing. Another Monday, another E1R iRace night. Continuing our touring car series with the Civic Type R, Elantra, and Audi RS3 and Mustang. This time we went to Imola in Italy. The Circuit di Enzo Edino Ferrari Babidi Boopity. It was harder than I expected, although it was like boring at some parts, but really hard in other parts. So I'm going to give it an eh. Uncle Dave dominated the first race. I was scrapping for last because I crashed lightly a couple times. So yeah, not my favorite, but the car is easy to drive and fun, and we're having fun because they're all close and it's nice racing. Jeff, you were there at the second race. How'd that go?
Yeah, Imola was interesting. I don't think I mastered the track, but I actually wasn't crashing into the wall and breaking my car. So either there's better runoff or I'm improving. One or the other. I'm not sure. But Tyler ran away with it. He was so far ahead of even Dave at the last. So rough.
All right.
Rough. So
well, hey, come join us for low pressure fun. Nobody cares. Have a good time. Next week, it's touring cars again, but at Daytona Road Course.
Ooh.
One of the things that I practiced on was the Daytona Rallycross.
Excellent.
Excellent. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Cool. You know who is always into low pressure fun?
I like it.
Chrissy's mom.
I was going to say, you know
Hi,
who
Carol.
never ran an ultra marathon?
Yeah.
She
I'd like mine
never
better.
would never talk about it. Yeah,
She thinks those people are crazy.
Yes, Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hi.
Document
Hey!
fact: Chrissy's mom's cookies make you faster.
I don't know about that.
Not me. Because I
know.
eat them all and I get fat. So, nay, topic time.
As you guys have already picked up on it, our guest is Tracey Gaudu. Now, you did meet her before. She is amateur. She was at Try with us. Was going to pop by, just have a talk, and then ended up spending the whole episode. That was a ton of fun. And he is the owner, financier, driver, and crew of Tracey Motorsports, a true race team. Campaign Atomic Z06 bet in the Southeast because you live in Tennessee now, so you're trapped in all that snow as well. And you are a transplant from Austin, Texas, probably because in Tennessee you can buy a town for what a 2-bedroom house in a crack neighborhood costs you in Austin.
True.
She's been running NASA's Tile Unlimited class, had her first Thunder race in Super Unlimited position at Carolina Motorsports Park last November. That would be a great lemons race for you to come to in April. They're doing the whole parade downtown, and you just had a double podium, position 1 in your time trial unlimited, and you are since 2019 3-time NASA Southeast time trial champion. That's right up there with, we've got a bunch of trophies we can loan you if you want to start doing psychological warfare on your other opponents. When we were the national championships, we like painted everything gold and just the first time I just walked around going, hold my trophy, I've got too many of them. So that was our thing. But we came at this from an endurance race.
Before you jump into this,
okay,
how did our season go after we decided to start flouting our trophies? It was the worst season we've had ever. It was terrible.
We
Bad
blew
karma,
up
wasn't it?
every week.
Oh, terrible karma. Do not flaunt your trophies.
Yes. So when we got it again, we got even more. Yeah. But we came at this from an endurance racing standpoint, but it's interesting that we all started autocrossing. Jeff started in the back of his dad's time trial car. So I'd like to just, we were talking about it earlier. You started autocrossing, but what got you started? What was your ambition? You like speed? I mean, you went and spent not a unsizable sum of money to buy a new Z06 with a manual, knowing you didn't know how to do the manual. That's awesome.
I just thought it would kick ass. So I thought I could learn how to drive it. And I didn't really buy that car till I was 40 years old. So I didn't really know about all this when I was younger. I was going to college. I was in the military. I was in the Air Force and got out and was going to college, trying to build a career. I didn't really have time or money to do any of this. And finally decided, hey, I always wanted a Corvette and I know they kick ass. So I thought I could learn how to drive a stick. Just got to get this car rolling. Just get it rolling.
Did anyone teach you to drive stick?
No, I
Wow.
had,
Oh,
Good for you.
it was difficult because I kept killing it. I mean, the clutch, but it has
Always
a lot
do.
of torque, luckily. So I could get it rolling, but then I'd spin tires. It took a lot to learn how to drive that car. But
So wait, hold on a second. I just need to review. You never owned a performance car before this.
I had I had an '05 red automatic C6. That was my
Okay.
first Corvette.
Okay. So you had a Corvette,
Jeff
but
has
you
the same
decided.
car.
I
actually.
have an '06. Was it Victory Red or Monterey
No,
Red?
it's precision red. It was
Precision
their
red.
first red. Yeah.
Okay, mine's Monterey Red. My wife's is Monterey Red, I should say. So you jumped into a Corvette. You had a Corvette, the Grandma Edition, the
Right.
Jorts Edition, and then you said, "I'd like to do more. I'm gonna
Well, what
buy a
happened
Z06 stick and start autocrossing it, even though I've never done any of this."
I was up at the dealership getting maintenance done and never go to the showroom. And there I saw it and I was like drawn to it like a magnet. I was like, holy shit, I'm walking around. I'm going, I could kick some ass in this car, but I can't drive it. And they just looked at me like, and I thought about it and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go for it.
That's awesome. That is
Send
it.
so awesome.
I don't know what
Send
made
it.
me do it, but
that is life said it. Not even just
Right?
on the track. That is-
Yeah.
should have
That's-
seen when I got home in Austin. I lived in like a garden home, had a 1-car garage that was sort of uphill and was lined in stone. I'm trying to pull this car in. First night I get it, it's raining. I almost went to the back of the garage and I just killed it. And I said, you're going to sit in this car. You're going to practice back and up, back and forward until you feel comfortable in the rain. I thought, man, this is crazy. But every night I'd come home and drive it and I'd stall it in different places. But
Yeah.
I finally got it.
This is what happens when
awesome.
anybody learns to drive a stick. Normally, you might have somebody in passenger seat trying to teach you, but I feel like par for the course. But good for you. The fact that
Well,
you
let me tell you a story. I get home at night and I call my father, and he's not a real car guy, but he knows about sticks. So he'd ask me, he said, now don't get the RPMs up past 2,000 because you want to save gas. And I'm thinking, my first autocross,
Oh.
everybody's like, why are you short shifting? And I'm like, what do you mean short shifting? But I didn't want to tell him what my dad said about saving gas. I wasn't thinking about gas saving, but that's how I learned how to drive the car. I was short shifting the shit out of it. So, that's how it all started. I call him at night and I'd go over things and go out and try to do it. It's challenging, but look where I am now though, man, that thing is awesome.
That's awesome.
We're awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So what's your daily driver now? Because obviously that turned into your race car.
Well, I have a truck.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you have a race car, you have a truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, I don't like to drive that. It's a diesel and it's like, I don't want to drive it every day, but I have a 72 Corvette automatic, unfortunately, but I sometimes
Okay.
drive that to work.
Oh,
awesome.
man.
That's so
That's right.
great.
That's right.
That's
I
the,
love Corvettes. They're my
He's
favorite
about right
thing.
to me. So do you still have the C6?
No, I traded it.
Traded it.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh,
Racing-
man. So the
racing
72,
junk.
That's a chrome bumper, isn't it? That's awesome.
Yep. Double chrome bumper car. It's pretty. It's a silver metallic. Pewter silver metallic. It's the rarest color in 72. Has red interior, side pipes. The doctors at the hospital are like, man, that's a nice car. When the doctors tell you that, you're like, thanks.
That's awesome. Racing Junk Shop is calling your name.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
they are. I know they are.
There's so many Corvettes there. And then we've got our 84. And it's like, I'm the worst Corvette ever.
There was I want to say there was a 75 or 76 California edition was only available the 305 and it was
That was
small.
78 to 82.
Yeah, okay, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
that actually is the worst Corvette ever.
But
But
yours is-
there are none of those left because everyone ripped the engines right out.
ours
of
is
them.
close.
Look,
It's a Doug Nash. It's awesome.
I was gonna say the year that your car came out, it was fantastic, and I think that really
Oh,
is
yeah.
like the essence of Corvette, right? They are like the sweet spot of like the best General Motors can do in a mostly affordable package. Obviously,
mean
they have the variants that are extremely
Right.
expensive, but
Well, remember it said supercar on all the magazines, and you're talking about the '08, right?
I was just talking about in general. That's what
Oh.
each generation of Corvette is. It's an
Yeah.
affordable man's supercar, affordable person.
Chrissy have an 84 Disco Vet digital dash with the Doug Nash 4-speed plus 3 overdrives.
So many overdrives.
He scrubbed it clean. I think it is gorgeous. They did a great job with it. I love the car and I love what it represents, but I don't have to live with it either. And then they even took it to a car show, parked it next to their NSX. What does everyone want to see?
Corvette.
NSX.
No. I stood back and I said, like, isn't this a great car? And everyone was like, but this Corvette. And I'm like, come on, are you serious? And then I put kids in the seat because I was like, do you want to get in? Do you want to sit there?
Yeah,
And they're like,
they love it.
they're like, no, I'm not supposed to touch it. And I said, but I don't care. Don't touch that car. You can touch this car because it's a pile of junk.
Yeah.
And then they were like, wow, I'm in a car. And I was like, I made a kid's day with a crappy car. Cool.
That's fun. So Tracey, how long have you been wheel to wheel racing? Because you said you were 3-time time trial champion, and then
Just
you
last
said
year
just last year. So you've done
was
one
my rookie
season.
year. Yeah.
Nice.
I
And
tried to do both at the same time, and it was difficult. Financially, it was getting hard because you have to pay for 2 entries, your double consumables. Then that's not a real cheap car to compete
No.
with. So,
Not at all.
Those big
so
ass
that's why I
Hoosiers.
have to work so much.
Yeah. That's why we race Civics and Miatas.
Well, I've been told I should go to Miata and do wheel to wheel with Miata, but how do you go from a Corvette to a Miata? I mean, I had a Miata before I even got into this. It was a long time ago, but it was I think a 95 Miata.
We all
pop-up
have.
lights.
Oh yeah, literally everyone here. We've all had multiple Miatas, and I actually had this question a couple times because I took a ride in a C7 Z06, and we were going into Riverside about 105. Really good driver.
You were
But-
on the 105? Yeah.
No, we were doing a buck 05.
Only 105. Come on.
Really?
Hell,
He's a
VI
student.
right.
It's a student. But the thing about in a Miata, and I understand because you're not going to get that same kind of punch in the horsepower. But if you dual campaign that, first off, you will absolutely love your tire bill and your gas bill at the end of the weekend.
Yes.
But you will find it is the level you're competing at. It's a small advantage to be able to be precise with a car. And in a Miata, you learn very quickly to be precise because it's going to take you 5 more friggin' laps to get that 2 miles an hour back that you screwed up in that one corner. And with your high horsepower stuff, and we've all moved into high horsepower stuff, there is a tendency to go, screw that corner up, gas.
I can fix it.
Yeah.
Every car is a momentum car. Some of them
Yeah.
just take longer to get it back. And if you get good at maintaining it, that translates into the high
Every
horsepower
car,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
But-
It will help you. I promise you that.
With my style, I mean, it's just was my rookie year last year, but I feel like I'm pretty consistent. People know what I'm going to do. I'm there. I'm always there. And I'm waiting for those front runners to make mistakes. And they will because they're driving wild. And I mean, they're just,
mhm.
Closer to
it's
the
like
edge.
a war of
Totally.
attrition. That's
Yep.
how it is. They're going to take each other out. Then I can win the race. And that's not always the best way, but hell, I'm just got to wait for them to make that mistake. And I think that's with any racing, either
Totally.
endurance, I mean, either with momentum cars or stab and steer cars. I mean, that's kind of what I call mine. I love that horsepower feeling. I love being able to pass people. I just don't know. I need to try Miata and just see how it's like on track. I mean, I owned one for a lot of years and I loved it on the street, but
I
just
think you
love
gotta
that
try.
Corvette.
Just drive everything is the
I
way to
know.
go. But I got a question that wasn't on the list, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So don't be surprised. Like, you've had this car a long time. You've done a lot of campaigning for this. You've done a lot of mods. Wheel to
Slowly.
wheel racing increases the chances of losing the car on the track.
I know.
But have you thought about, I mean, not that you've thought about it like, oh my gosh, we're going to crash, but have you thought about maybe getting something drastically different that you may be not going to cry the day that it goes into the
or just gets scratched, because Chrissy turned her car into a race car. We were all scared to drive it because none of us wanted to put the first dent in it.
Well, I went
I
off
did.
at CMP in a time trial into the tire wall, and I cracked my front fender. I had to get a new fender.
Was
Pretty
it
minor stuff.
in the kink?
And
Did you come off in the kink?
No, this was turn 3-ish. I mean, right. This is before they repaved, that tire wall that's across the track that, I mean, my back rear tire just, I don't know. The same.
Corvette goes a lot
happened.
further than some of the things we drive. So,
but I know what you're saying. And when I caged the car, it hurt my heart a lot because I love that car and I shouldn't love it that much, but I do. And I thought about it, but I wanted to try wheel to wheel. Everyone's kept saying, you're ready, you're ready. And I never thought I really was. The past couple of years, I thought, well, I'm ready this year. Once I got out there and I was with those guys and I'm just mixing up with them, I absolutely love it. And I really love that car. So I'm just going to have to take my chances and see how it goes. But
intravenous drugs, it's really hard to kick. It's easy to upgrade too. Well, I think it's fantastic. I think I also took a car that I loved that owed me nothing. I paid $200 for it. There's that one mod that you do where you're like, nope, no turning back now.
Yeah, the cage was that. And, I bought the motor 3 years ago and that helped some. I mean, helped a lot. It got me out of the mid pack of TT1 up into the top pack of TT1. So that helped that. But I've slowly modded that car. I just did suspension 2 years ago. I had the stock leaf springs. I was bottoming out at Road Atlanta. I mean, I thought, man, I've got to do something because I can't stay in the gas if I'm bottoming out in turn 1 going up the hill. So did that. And then I'm getting brakes now, which I've needed. It's been very evident this past year that I've needed them, but I mean, slowly as I could afford it, I did it. And I didn't race the entire time or compete the entire time I've had the car. Life's happened. I've moved jobs. I mean,
well, and you started autocrossing. So when you first bought it, you weren't immediately on the track.
Mostly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, and then I did a lot of HPDEs and just try to get seat time, and people really, they don't give that enough credit, seat time. They want to take a high performance car and just think that they can drive on the street, they go on a track, and they get in trouble. And I've slowly cranked up the comfort level on that car, and it can still scare me, but I just love the wheel to wheel. It's just, God, it's fun. I love beating those guys though. Yeah. That is the best part of it, man, because they are hurt. They don't like it, but you say, bring your trophies. All I have to do is pull up into the grid, man. It's like, they know the girl's there. It's awesome. So
crap.
Love it.
Now we're all
love
racing
your attitude.
Now we're all racing for second. Tracy's here.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard because I'm really the only woman in Super Limit. I was the only woman in time trial, and it doesn't really matter that I'm the only woman, but they do give me a lot of respect, and I like that. I do get a lot of kind of cranky little men that like to give me some heat sometimes, but you know what, whatever. But for the most part, they do give me a lot of respect, and I'm glad because I work hard for what I'm doing and I want to get better. And I'm paying for this on my own. I'm working hard to do it. So I'm glad that they do recognize that. So
absolutely.
But it is kind of hard being a woman out there. And when I see another woman, I'm gravitated to her because I want her to keep coming. I want her to keep coming out. But it's not a cheap thing to do. And it's hard to talk a woman into coming out and, really sacrificing what they have to spend money on to go out and do that. But you do it because you love it and you want to be out there. So it's sort of just, it's like a drug, really. So that wheel to wheel is, my God. I love time trials. Get that fast lap within about 2 or 3 laps. Getting it that quick and then coming off. I just never felt like I got enough track time. And then I did that for a couple of years and got really good. Now I can qualify really well because I'm a good time trialer. I can get good qualifying times for racing. And if you can start up near the front, that helps. So it's sort of been a bit of evolution, and everyone's asked, well, how do you transition from that? I think what I've done with, autocrossing, time trials, and now racing, it's just been a natural progression. So, but it's taken a lot of years. A lot of people think you can do this in a couple years. Maybe they can. I just couldn't. So that's sort of where my story is.
You just start a sketchy check cashing business and move to an Indian reservation. Not a problem. Yeah, there
That's
you
right.
go.
That's right.
Chrissy had one on this topic. Chrissy, you want to jump in?
I did, but I think she already talked about it, about women on the grid. I mean, there's not many women that are around, but and that the fact that you feel like there's, if there's a woman around, it's awesome, and try to convince them to be here. I mean, any ideas of how to get more women, even though it's expensive, maybe they're only hearing or seeing the women or the men that are, or maybe they just feel like the men aren't as inclusive. Any ideas for how women could, get involved in a little bit more?
I've talked to a lot of women, and because they seem to find me in the pit areas, and you just have to really encourage them, because they're using their daily driver for the most part to be out there on an HPDE. That's exactly how I started, and they really like the fact that I'm out there and I'm really putting the car through the paces like it's meant to be. A lot of Corvette folks they just go drive and eat with their friends and come home. I mean, they don't really, that's not what the car is meant to be doing. So they really like that part about it. But I don't meet a lot of women who even drive Corvettes that are out there. So these are people who are just driving like Supras and other really nice cars, but I don't think about it as what kind of car they have or I have. I just try to correlate to tell them, look, just keep coming out and you're going to get better. And they're with an instructor, and I instruct with NASA too. And I love instructing women because, I mean, men get happy when they get faster, but women really see that time come down, and it's like, man, I did it. And it's just to encourage them.
They usually listen better too.
They do. And I like that too. And it's funny because I've been instructing men too, and they just try to drive so fast, and they're not really fast though. They think they are. And then they're braking, and it's just you're bobbleheading in the damn car. You're like wanting to throw up. And I'm just like, look, man, slow it down. But the thing is, a lot of men won't listen.
All the confidence, all the skill, and no need to learn from everyone. It's the position of the patriarchy all over the world. I'm saying what I'm saying is it is why testosterone poisoning and male. Never mind. I'm not going to get all social justicey here tonight. We're talking about cars.
But I mean, but a lot of men out there act like they can't do it, but they can. So I'm out there trying to be the promote. I want to promote. I want to be encourager. I want to be and I think I think a lot of women have benefited from talking to me, and I hope that they can see if I'm doing it. I'm not out there with anybody else. I'm doing it. They can do it with whoever they're with. So I think it's worked really well. But the whole race chick thing, that's one of my sponsors. That really draws people to the car, and my fire suit has race chick on it. People women like that brand.
Yeah.
And so that has really helped. And Red Line Ace is another one, Race Like a Girl. That brand has also helped. So
and Red Line Ace, I mean, they are obviously promoting that. Was even like Red Line Ace though, but they just love all drivers. Our mutual friend Camden Murphy, who drives
right. I met him.
And we've known Camden for years. We all worked for Extreme Experience, and I love how that guy does have a pro contract. I'll never understand, but he's a Red Line Ace person too, and he's always encouraging people to get there. I love that you instruct. It's just keep bringing those people back into the sport, especially as enthusiastic as you are.
Yeah. Well, when I was learning, there weren't very many female instructors. I remember 2 that I had, and they really left a mark on me. And I'm hoping I can do the same with women that I instruct. So
that's awesome.
I mean, anyway.
Yeah. You mentioned your sponsorships and a couple of them. Sponsorships is something that is really, really far from our wheelhouse. We like know nothing about it. Give us a little bit history on like how'd you get your first sponsor? How did you decide to dive into the sponsorships? Was it hard? What did they get you? Tell us everything. We know nothing.
It's really, learning to use social media and your followers and how you post. That wasn't even in the beginning. When I first started doing it, I didn't even think about the sponsorships. I just bought a motor I researched it and I bought a motor from a company that I thought would be the best motor for me. I bought a fire suit from somebody that I thought I liked. What you do is you buy their products, you get a relationship with them built, and then you kind of ask them, hey, and then they kind of ask you, hey, you want to be an ambassador? Well, for the most part, that's about getting discounts. Now, discounts help. I mean, they really do. That's how it started with Lingenfelter. I bought their motor, did well with it. I wanted to show to them that I could win with that, but how much more I could win with their motor. I've asked, can I be on their team? They said, yes, of course. And so that's how that started.
So what I'm hearing is the sponsorships have to be the last thought, not the first thought. You need
Race
to be
Chick, I mean,
in the
I
car
wanted
and
to be on
winning.
Team Race Chick so badly because I just love that brand and what they stand for. I bought the fire suit. I love the fire suit, promoted her, and then asked her, hey, and we kind of came together at the same time. And I mean, I was so happy to get that sponsorship. She helped me, give me a huge discount on my fire suit. She's given me some.
Yeah,
Huh?
she's a hustler. She's like lives out of a van, not in a creepy way, but like out of a merchandising van, just traveling to shows 10 months a year. Yeah, she was finally going to have like an address where she could get mail for 2 months in Florida.
I think you're thinking of Car Chicks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am. Never mind.
Yeah, Car Chicks. The biggest sponsor, though, which took me 3 times to get, was Intech Trailer sponsorship. Now that's my biggest sponsor. And I mean, come on, a 24-foot enclosed trailer. I was pulling, what do they call a quick load? You know how they roll back trailers?
Yeah.
An open car hauler.
Open
When I caged my car and then I had no windows and I had to put plexi in the windows, and I would go somewhere, rain real hard. I'd get a lot of rain in the car. I was just hoping and then always worrying if people were going to steal my stuff. I mean, I travel alone. I just really wanted that enclosed trailer, and it finally happened after 3 times. So that's a very different way to win a sponsorship, but it was difficult. God.
Yeah. So what whether because Mark hinted at this and said you really, really earned that. What were the parameters of that contest, and what did you do to
you had to get people? See, I'm not one that really asks for a lot of help, and you have to change that attitude if you really want help with sponsors. But I had to ask all my friends on social media. I had to post continuously about voting for me and all these different rounds of voting to make it to the next round. You have to do these videos. I'm a pretty private person. You may not believe that, but to put my life out there, show them the good and the bad of what's going on with the car at different tracks, to show them what it's like to tow and what it's like to be on the road, sometimes in torrential rain. I mean, I don't like to post stuff like that, but you had to get followers, to get people to vote for you. And it was a long, long process. It took, I think the first couple of times, the first time I tried to win it, I think it took 6 months to get through that contest. The second time it was longer than that. And the third time was longer than that. I mean, it's hard. And so I'm very lucky to have won that, but God, I still can't believe it's my trailer. I feel like I have to give it back, but I don't. So
you've already painted it. You've already done it to match the vet. Why would they take it back?
Well,
granted, you're in Tennessee and they love their orange, but
I've got to pay taxes on it this year, though. See, they give you a 1099.
Well, I was about to ask. I was about to ask what the downside was, or if you've
That's
ever
the
got
downside.
the
You have to pay
downside.
taxes.
Well, I mean, but it really sounds like it's not free money. It's money you work for. It's not free discounts. It's
Oh,
a
you have to,
long hard trail to get there.
and you got to figure out ways to promote those people. They don't, I mean, I don't have these big contracts with them where I have to promise so much, but if they're going to help me, especially like big time, like Lingenfelter, I've really got to, the best thing I could do is put their name on the front of my car. If you look through my Facebook and other social media and you see a picture of that car, you always see that name on the front. I think that really shows them that I really want to help promote them. And that's why they started to help me more with my car. So, I mean, and I like to show them that I can win, and that kind of pressure is kind of there too, but I like to win anyway. So I just have to show them that I can do that, and their name's there. And it's like a game with sponsorships. I hate to say that, but I'm still learning it. I'm definitely not an expert, but
I've got a lot more than we do.
A lot of sponsors that have given me discounts is for the most part how it's worked.
Yeah,
but
and we've done some discount deals also. Honda Performance Development is probably the one, Chris, that we've used the most, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And with COVID, it's gotten worse. I mean, trying to get sponsorships with all this going on is definitely hard. But at least we're still out there, at tracks and running, and that really slowed down just a slight bit in 21. So, but for the most part, it started right back up, I think in April or something in my region. So we were only down a couple. We don't really have much downtime in the winter at all here. So in the summer, we have about 6 weeks off, but
see, she goes to Road Atlanta and it doesn't snow. It's just you three.
That's the problem.
That's why we don't go.
It rained this last time and we didn't go either.
We go in
and
December,
everybody
that's
looked
the problem.
so cold. It was
miserable.
My last events at Road Atlanta the first weekend of December, and it rained when it wasn't supposed to rain. It was not even on the radar, and it rained. But it was a fun run, and you know what? A fun race. And I did win that. I couldn't believe it. I won it in the rain. That was big for me because I'm afraid of the rain. I hate to admit it, but it ages me a lot when I those tires are like, they're huge, and I had no warning about rain tires, so I had my slicks and it was like, holy shit.
and yeah, it puddles at Road Atlanta, especially on that back straightaway when you're doing in your car probably $150.
Yeah, and you just keep pushing because I keep thinking it's a straight line. You can brake at the end. Don't worry about it. It'll stop. What's worse is down at the bottom of the S's, a big old like river down there. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. But that's one of my favorite tracks is Road Atlanta. I just love that play. I love that bridge, and it's fun.
I was only there once, and I had to drive the slushy line.
Slushy line.
Instead of the ice line.
I had to be in there in the ice and snow like that. I don't know how the rain's bad enough, but I just, like up here when it gets bad weather and I'm in my truck and all, it should be fine, right? I'm like one of the most scared people out there, but it's like, you race a car and you can't drive in this. I don't race on ice, people. I don't race on snow. I have traction. What are you talking about? Why are you so scared?
Yeah. And there's probably at least a little bit more of a selective process about who's around you when you're racing on a track versus clowns in Tennessee trying to drive in snow.
And I'm from Texas too. We don't get that much snow down in Austin. So anyway,
that's great.
But that's how it all started.
I have one more on my list, and I don't know if we'll be done after that. I'll defer to my podcast host here. So you kind of did like the what we call the traditional ladder, like autocrossing to track day to instruction to instructor to time trial to wheel. It's kind of like a straight line, like that's like anything on the side out there that you're looking at that you're like, ooh, I think I'd like to try some ice racing, or ooh, that looks interesting.
I really want to do. I mean, I've tried also last year. I tried a Grand Prix down in downtown Chattanooga, which, holy shit, was scary. Until you
That's
just
awesome.
don't look at the cement medians, which are about 2 feet away from you. I mean, and it was a rough. I don't know if you've seen my video on YouTube, but it is rough.
No, but I'm going to after the show.
Absolutely.
All right, Lingenfelter has a better video of it. They got the whole Lingenfelter Performance Engineering has the whole race on it. But I did that. I did really well, and I got second overall behind a IMSA GT3 Porsche. Kurt Swearingen, who's a professional driver. I told myself, if you can stay within 8 seconds of him, you're doing well. And I did. I was like 7 point something seconds behind him. I thought, damn, yes. But so I got, first loser on that podium, but that's okay. It was awesome. And then I also did a SCCA hill climb.
Oh, that's on my list. I want to do a hill climb.
I did it in Eastern Kentucky. It's at Pine Mountain. If you guys should go. I mean, that was its first year last year. I don't think my car was set up right. And I asked several people because that car was so stiff. I just couldn't feel like I could put power down. I had Hoosiers. I could hear the rocks just, I'm coming up a hill. I mean, it's like straight up. I'm coming up a hill and all I see is blue sky. And I'm thinking, what in the hell am I doing out here? I mean, but once I got it down the course, it was fun sliding that car around that little road.
Little tiny road, right?
It's a state park. You know how those state park roads are where they have two lanes. It was just like that. They closed it down and it was fun, but that and the Grand Prix were the scariest things. But I was telling Mental, I really want to try endurance racing. I mean, I've done a lot of sprint stuff. I just don't know how to do it. I got to find a team because my car really is not an endurance car.
No.
No.
Being a arrive and drive with someone else is definitely the way to start because it's a hefty difference. Build a car.
Yeah. The investment to build an endurance car, much less everything that takes to get it to the track.
The car is only half of it. It's everything else that has to come with you to the track because it's not like, oh, I built the car, I'm gonna go run it for 20 minutes. Like it'll be fine. No, you're gonna break something. So you gotta have everything you need to fix it and also live at the track for 3 days.
And have a team because you have to it's a team sport. So you have to have people around you.
I don't even have anyone on a radio with me now in wheel to wheel. And I feel like that would be a good advantage to have. I'm so used to doing it by myself that I think a team, and I love a team concept. I think that's what I need to do. Maybe I should do something like you also like Lemons or Lucky. What's it?
Lucky Dog. Absolutely.
Hey,
Lucky
Lucky
Dog's
Dog.
great.
You-
Champ is great.
In fact, you and Kathy Fuss
Oh yeah.
would
Oh, you get right
best
along.
buds. Yeah,
Oh,
in a matter of minutes.
Yes.
He's
Absolutely.
basically you if you ran a race series. And
Mental, you
it's
should
daytime.
put her in touch with Kathy to find a arrive
Absolutely.
and drive seat because Lucky Dog
Yeah.
runs 3 races in Carolina, so not that far from you.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
They run a nice show, and you'd get along great with them.
Well, we are
Yeah,
absolutely going to make that happen.
Right, I'm writing that down right now. It's a great idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on.
But
So
I do want
cool.
to try that because that's something I just want to keep trying new things and seeing what I like. I mean, Wheel to Wheel was a try, which I do really love that. But I do like the hill climb it's just it's like an added level of danger on that hill climb. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Oh,
mean,
totally.
Yeah. And it's a blend of an autocross and a time trial. I mean, it's
and the
technically
people there,
a time trial, but it's not connected.
the drivers that were there, they were so just laid back. It wasn't like a typical like track weekend at a race. It was just very nice. And you're in the middle of a freaking state park. It's all these trees around. You don't feel like, I mean, it just felt so strange, but it was nice.
Well, that's awesome. Well, a few years ago, I don't know if it is still true or not with the explosion of amateur motorsports, but a few years ago, when I was researching hill climbs, the state with the most hill climb events in a calendar year was Pennsylvania.
That's right. That's right.
And
PHA.
2 of them happened like 3 miles from Chris and Chrissy. So we got to get to one.
Yeah, I like to go up there, Mark and Michelle. I think I'm gonna pronounce their names wrong, but Aubele. I don't know. They are the king and queen of hill climb up there.
Yeah.
I'd love to go up there. They have so many of them. And I think if I did more of them, I would feel more comfortable. It's not that I don't. I mean, I love to go out in the mountains and just drive, but it's so different when you've got the whole road to yourself, and it's a whole different level of just, I'm just going to go out and have a little Sunday drive. This is some serious, and I got to learn how to set the car up for that, because I really don't think the alignment was right. The suspension was right. I think it could have made it a lot easier on me.
Oh, yeah, it's totally different
Yeah.
than when than being on a
I
track,
had a
especially
track
the
set up.
surface.
I
Yeah.
had a track set up. So I hope that maybe I can learn how to do that too.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. I'm going to defer to my host and say, has anybody got anything else? All right, Tracey, this means it's your turn. We're going to put you on the spot here. Pimp all the social media, hit all the sponsors that you might not have hit. It's been great having you, and we want to make sure people are liking and following and hitting the smash the whatever button on all of your Instagrams and Facebookers and Tweeters.
Right.
So tell us where you're at.
pretty simple on Facebook and Instagram, Team Tracey Motorsport. I have a personal page on Facebook as well, Tracey Gaudu, but for the most part, I have two of them on Facebook. So I'd like people to go to Team Tracey Motorsport. Probably it'd be more appropriate because it's more about racing. Then I have YouTube is Team Tracey Motorsport. I'm putting more live videos from in-car videos from races there. And I'm not on Twitter that much, but it's Motorsport Tracey on my Twitter account. So I do have a website. It's teamtraceymotorsport.com. And I try to keep that updated. I think the last thing was from last year, the last event I raced at Road Atlanta. So, and they winning the time trial championship and just talking about wheel to wheel. So
That's
outstanding. We've got all that link. We've got your Facebook, we got your Instagram, we've got your webpage, got your YouTube, and yes, this Grand Prix videos are on there. And this looks holy snakes. You chasing that green Mustang, what basically is the width of it is the width of a friggin' freeway entrance ramp with two retaining walls on either side.
I was doing 125 on the top of fourth gear down that front part of that course. And you see that part where it's slightly a right kind of like a slow right turn. The way that pavement was and so chopped, every time I bounce, I could feel the car wanting to go into that middle median. And I'm thinking, hold. And then you see people on the side, in different streets, and there's lots of them there that are inside there just cheering. And you're like going, holy crap.
I'm looking at the hill climb videos. I'm so addicted. I want to do this.
Oh, that was fun. The thing is I'm not used to starting from a standstill like that, going uphill.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And it never failed. Every time somebody was videoing or taking a picture, I would be spinning tires. It's like, God, come on. And the president of SCCA was out there. It was pretty impressive to meet him too. So.
Oh, Mental is sharing a screen.
All right.
If he's going to try and show a video.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I'm just showing a snippet of her video. I mean, you can see her. She is winding this thing out at the Grand Prix at the Bend, and look how narrow this is. And she is.
Oh, wait till you get to the front of the course. That's the wider part right there. But and those
racing
big
in a
hay
construction
bales,
zone. Yeah.
those hay bales. Holy crap! Some guy did hit one, and he had a pretty rare Lotus, and he hit it, and he was taping up fiberglass beside me in the pit.
It's all right. Lotuses are very strong and heavy, though. That's not a
there it is. There it is, right there.
And have replaceable parts.
They're cheap to fix too. Yeah.
Yeah, that part right there, 125 going down that.
Wow! Wow!
It's like racing in a hallway.
That's what it felt
Chris
like.
gets a construction zone.
Yes, exactly. That's it, and I've never done anything like that. It was incredible. I was scared at first, and I kept thinking, what are you doing? I mean, on both of these things, the hill climb, and then I'm like, what are you? There's no runoff. What are you going to do?
Just don't hit it. Don't look at it.
Just don't hit it.
Whatever you do, don't look at it.
That's what I told myself.
Oh
Quit
my gosh.
looking at the walls.
Yes.
Don't look at them. Just look
Yes.
straight ahead.
Do not look at it.
No, don't look at walls. Don't
look at the walls.
I didn't make that a song, but I know that it's a thing.
Well, Tracey, thank you so much for being here. This has been excellent. I'm glad we took some more time to talk to you because it was really hard at PRI to really get a lot of this this flavor and to really get to know you really well. So
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. And you guys are so funny. I love watching. And I do watch your episodes now. You accused me of not doing that before, but I laughed.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Chrissy noticed that you loved her shirt on the last
Yes.
one. So
That's
absolutely.
right.
Well, yes, and if she wants to buy more, she could use my code to get some money off.
code.
What?
We're
Discount.
doing that.
Who needs another shirt, right? It's like the
Come on,
car.
man,
Like
you
I
do.
know.
I bought another one this week.
Oh, come on.
Is it a personal code like for us off air, or is it like a partnership code where you get
It's a
credit if you-
partnership code. It's
Let's have it.
Then throw it out there. Let
Oh
everybody
my
hear it.
God! Do I have to try to come up with it? I'll message it to you guys. I
Okay,
don't
we'll-
remember. I think it's.
We'll put it
I
in
think
the
it's
notes.
TG 141. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
That's
All
okay.
right, all right.
That's
Absolutely.
okay.
We'll
Then
get
I
it.
can go. I'll take the time to pick out my shirt, and then I can.
I'll send you a message on
That's fantastic.
That's great. So we're going to move on to our next segment, but don't go anywhere because we're going to include you on this one too. Everybody likes to talk about safety, including our own safety professional, Chrissy with Just the
So some of this is kind of a rerun, but I couldn't not talk about it because the East Coast is going to be getting serious winter weather this weekend.
And,
Let's
and,
rev-
and I empathize. This morning when I went for my run, it was only 52 degrees, and I thought, my God.
Oh my God!
Okay, so I said that if you would just let me talk, I was saying that there's important weather things for winter weather things that people need to know. If you don't experience snow or cold, just skip ahead. If you're like mental, just go get a drink. Don't listen. Okay. When shoveling, and this is typically for snow, I know mental doesn't know what this is, but when you're shoveling, just be careful about it. Bend at your knees, not at your waist or your back. Tighten your stomach muscles as you lift the snow. Lift with your legs, not your back. Don't twist your body instead, and then actually step in the right direction. And as much as you're shoveling snow and you're thinking about this, I always do it at least once and say, that was really the wrong way to do it. So just notice what you're doing when you're doing it, because chances are every time you do it, it's not going to be that. When it's 20 outside, I think it's going down to like 8 tonight. So yes, I think it's
Hey, Chris, you make sure you say this. People have a lot of, shoveling snow causes a lot of heart attacks. So make
Oh.
sure people pace themselves.
okay.
I mean, seriously, you think you're in good shape, but that's a lot of weight to be shoveling. And I think people just try to do too much and then they end up having coronaries. So
That's a wonderful to comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is
From
great.
our medical professional.
That's wonderful. Feel free to continue to chime in. If you haven't already, make sure you're packing some of those extra emergency items we talked about a few weeks ago in your car. If you're planning on driving anywhere you think you might be going somewhere, make sure you're packing some extra stuff. If you have prolonged freezing temps, you never know when those pipes are going to freeze. So make sure you have extra gallons of water. Just keep them in your basement. You never save some 2-liter bottles to soda bottles, fill them with water. It sucks to not have water, especially if you have a family, especially not necessarily even to just drink, but to, keep flushing toilets and stuff like that. Just make sure that some water is running, and just freezing pipes suck. We've had them here and it's just really annoying and sad. And lastly, listen to the weather report, not necessarily your local weather, because sometimes they're really dumb and crazy. But if they say don't go out, they probably know a little bit more than you. So don't do it.
Look at this asshole in the BMW.
Yeah, we've done that.
Let's all just laugh.
We've done that. We've watched them. Yes. So I'm not saying that that's necessarily your best, but usually there's people out there that know what's going on. So listen to them.
Fair enough.
According to my weather app, it feels like hell froze over tonight.
Okay, we couldn't see the words, so I just
20
skipped saying the
degrees.
20.
You got to hold it. You got to hold it steady. I believe that is what the forecast.
That is what the forecast. That's right. Anyway,
Jeff's
mental.
like, read this.
Sorry. Because I put it up and then I have to look around it to see if it's on the camera.
Read this. Read it. Read
It's the
it.
worst podcast
Oh.
ever. Why any of you listen? I have no idea. Mental.
Speaking of freezing cold and snow, half of this podcast is not going to be experiencing any of that because they are on their way to the tropics. They are
Okay. We're not going to be here next week.
sorry.
Good
And we are going to be joined by guest host DJ 914 Eric Ritzler. We've talked about him. You've seen him in a couple of our background videos. True Renaissance person. We're going to talk about air-cooled Porsches and carrying a feed of those. We're going to talk about the One Lap of America. He is a musician. He is a video editor, and he is a family man. So we are going to relate all that stuff. And he's going to be a full-up guest host. So he's going to be reading news. He's going to be participating in discussion. Get your questions in for
We might even talk seeing eye dogs.
He Fosters.
Oh
he
my
fosters
God.
CNI dog.
That dog is the cutest dog I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's because you never saw the chocolate one that Gwen has. Anyway, thank you for downloading us. Tracy, thank you for joining us.
Tracy, thank you. Yes. Go
Thank
check
you.
out her videos because they're awesome.
Yeah. We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. Even if you don't drive stick, go buy a Z06 and learn. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text mental 484-243-0455. Send them pictures of your junk like that what we're seeing right there.
That's mouse poop covered junk that I got texted.
Nice. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers, YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers, even Reddit. We have a Reddit page. We have a TikTok page. We are unstoppable. We got so much social media, we don't even know how to use it. Slash E1R on the Reddits there. Thank you again, and until next week, keep the burnt orange side up. Or if you don't have a burnt orange one, just keep those Hoosiers down.
That's right.